We're live.
Ooh.
It is the NHS Wiki meeting. NHS HLP Wiki meeting. Weekly meeting. Semi-weekly meeting. October 10th. It's Wednesday. We're here with Joseph, and Matt. And yeah, I guess go around and see if people have stuff to add to the agenda.
Yes, that's something we do sometimes, isn't it? We start with, I think we got two. Is it two key blocks? I guess with two key blocks.
Send grid.
So the one is the send grid, and the other one is, although we've made progress on the official Media Wiki Doku thing, we've got this admin user issue, which we think is a blocker.
Well, yeah, that's one of them, but there's more than one, I guess. But if like the whole official Doku Media Wiki is a block, yeah.
Yeah, I mean do you want to elaborate on the other individual blocks that need to be looked at there?
I mean, up to the moment, we haven't been able to work out how to add extensions.
Okay, so like that's just a general question of like how can we add extensions?
Yeah, and yeah, so I guess I'll circle back around to that when we get to it.
Okay, yeah, no, it's great to get the heart. So then, now we've got for SendGrid, we've got a a debugging technique, which is like the command line, which we could look at. Yeah, do we have? I mean, other things that are going on are that we now have this social prescribing email hour on Fridays. It's at 4:30 p.m. UTC +1, and that actually went off quite well last week, and we got quite a few people chatting and talking, and there's like content stuff we would like to be getting back to, but I don't think anything that needs to be like hammered to death in this meeting. I mean, there's other continuing, the possibility of there being some more money for us for doing social prescribing in Harrow, but I don't think there's much point in dwelling on it until the money actually comes through and this and the other. I mean, I've got this like a whole self-care meeting on Monday, which I'm not even quite sure what that is, but I'm going to go and see all the people again. So, yeah, I mean, I guess there's the Trello board, and there's like we were sort of talking a few weeks out, putting like a front end sprint together. But yeah, I guess these are our sort of in some ways this is the highest priority in that at the moment. In principle, no one. I mean, not that any like huge numbers of new users are coming to the site, but like password reset is not working, and no one's complained about it yet. I don't think that there's not that many users even to reset their passwords, but this could become sort of an embarrassing failure at some point in the future if we don't get it addressed. So I think this, with its multifaceted Hydra-like, cut off one head and two more grow in its place. We should maybe focus on this one, should we?
Yeah, I agree.
Unless we can think of any other issues that are going on. No, somewhere in the teaming Slacks, there was this I found. Yeah,
it's a video that well, I think there's a video and there's an accompanying blog or something. The video goes into how to connect, and then and then the blog goes into what to do after you're connected.
Yeah, so there's this thing is using Telnet. So yeah, we could go back to. Go on, brain. Oh, what's happening to my head? No, come on, brain, work, brain. Let's go to the Safari browser, where, we very successfully got access to the box through this script thing. That was for the Doku one, but yeah, so I ended up running sed commands to edit the SSH config and then restart the SSH from there. So that was handy.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then, but now we're interested in mail servers, and we've got our now single SendGrid account that has allegedly been re-enabled, and we can go to the management of that here. And in order to start doing little tests of this, I would need to be connected to it on the one of these things somewhere. Bitnami MediaWiki. That is the production server, which I rebooted the other day, and that had no noticeable impact on the emails working or not. So we're there in the production server. Let's kind of go into the usual apps, CD MediaWiki, CD HT Docs. This is the place with the local settings. But so come back over here. The SendGrid. There. Activity, not very much. Clearly no mails have been going out. Yeah, so it's in that something's not something yee. So I mean, I guess part of debugging it might, be to connect to SendGrid from the box, which this blog is allegedly about. So sending a test SME email with Telnet. So I assume by SendGrid API key they mean the kind of password, or is there something about there being a password instead of a? So this is all assuming that we've got an API key, which we don't have. Well, we could certainly try.
Well, we do have. I mean, we do have no.
Well, we have like what is in the what is in the local settings as down as username and password, don't we?
Yeah.
I think what I'm tempted to do is I'm just going to pull up in a different over here sh copy wiki CD MediaWiki, CD HT Docs, more local settings. Doesn't need to be that big. If I can find, yeah. So we have this WG, which I think is Wikimedia Global SMTP setting. We set the host, the ID host, the port, the auth, and then we have a username and a password. But so here we could start this telnet command not found.
I think lowercase. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the telnet thing there.
Log in.
I don't know if we can do it like that. So it says, okay. Once you select the SendGrid, log in to the server by typing auth login.
Yeah.
And it responds with that, which it did. Okay. Input the API username encoded in base 64.
Yeah. She gives us
but everyone's username is API. So this is the thing here is this is like then API key. I don't know if we have an API key. We have a password. I guess we could quickly look in this one to see if we have. Oh, there is an API. Oh, okay. Okay, so it looks like we can create an API key, but we don't have one at the moment. API key name. Call it test. Because we're testing. All right. So, well, I've made one. For security reasons, we cannot show it to you again, ever. All right. So I'm going to take it, I think. It says it's copied. And stick it in my password storage system.
Yeah.
What is this? Let's do secured note for, this is, I don't know, SendGrid API key. But so that's, Okay, well, anyway, it says that everybody's username is API key, which is that in base 64. So send that.
It gives like a site that you can go to encrypt things in base 64.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, it's only a part of the video apparently.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll just go in another and say like base 64 encoding online. Okay. So I'll do that. Have I still got type or paste here? Oh no, I've put the wrong thing. No. That's the key. Decode. No, I need to encode it. Decode files from base64. What? Decode from base64. I want to encode. Everything is... No. Okay. Oh, there was the button for encode. That's what we want. Encode. Encode to base64. Encode. Okay. So I've encoded it to base64. And now we just enter it. Okay. Authentication successful. Next, add the email you're sending from. Mail from. Oh, what do? We always do HLP Wiki admin at agileVentures.org or something. That'll do. And then recipient to that's tansaku@gmail.com. On the next line, type data. Optionally add a mail to header. No. Really? What? Okay. And next to name email, and then add from. Oh gosh. Add from. Perhaps it's from. Okay. From. Spam. No, does it have to be like this, or then email? First email. Sam. HLP. Wiki. Admin. At Agile. So this is all great and fun, but like we're now using a different approach than the one we actually want to be testing. But let's see. Then we could include a subject line. Add the content of the message. This is a test. Finally, send the email with a period. Right. Okay. Does it have to be in quotes? I don't know. Finally, send the email with a period and press enter. Okay.
Queued.
Queued. Quit. See you later. Bye. Okay. So I mean that's interesting. And it came through almost automatically. So, although I think not with the bot. Yeah, I mean, okay. So I mean, like clearly the account like is working. What we want really is to test that email password combination to check that that's correct. How can we do that? Is this was,
or how can we at least get back like better? Because the reason we went down this path, if I'm not mistaken, is because we were assuming that at least we would get better like error messaging, like tell us your password is incorrect or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we could try the same thing again, but instead of the username API key, we could try the username password combination that we have. Although I would love to find like Ingrid SMTP debugging username password. This is what we're looking at. Trouble. No. Huh. I mean, we're in. I mean, this is all telling us about how to. This is all API reference. Well, since I've got the encoder up, let's try again. So what was the sequence? So it says type auth login. Okay. Input the API username encoded in base 64. All right, so I'm going to go and get and find it again. Where's it gone? I'm going to get our username, and for double checking, well, I'll get the one that's actually in the local host. So we've got this like Azure generated username, which I'm going to encode. So it's encoded it for me, and I'm going to stick. I mean, it may be that this won't work because it's not an API one, but it's responded with. So clearly we're there. So now the password also needs to be encrypted like so. No, a bad username password. So that's interesting. So now, because we don't know, like, because this is telling us about API key, you know, maybe this just means that we can't use these combinations. Like this setup is only allowing for us to test that, or it could just mean that the password that we've got in there is wrong. Just looking at.
Yeah, I was having a look at this Azure, Microsoft Docs, like they talk about how to send email with SendGrid.
Yeah,
and they talk about going, and one of the first things they talk about doing is creating an API key and then adding it somewhere. Yeah, which is weird because we haven't used that approach before, have we?
No.
And it was clearly working before.
But I mean, I guess it's, I mean, it seems unlikely, but not inconceivable that something has changed since it was last working.
Yeah.
Again, it seems unlikely. I'm just checking that the username that I've got in the. Can you just screen share the precise?
Sure. So it says here, to find your SendGrid API. No, to find it. Okay.
Oh, okay. But this is not specifically to Bitnami. This is like Azure using SendGrid just generally, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then that's interesting. So the thing that I'm pasting in as the current password in order to try and change the password, it's saying like, no, you can't. It's saying it's invalid. So I think that sort of implies that there must be something wrong there. When I click on reset password, it takes me to SendGrid itself, which is interesting. There was this. I feel like we went through this before. Like the password reset in SendGrid is grayed out.
Yes, like edit the password is, yeah. And then in the portal, there's a place to reset the password.
Right, but that just takes us to the SendGrid.
Oh, does it? Okay.
But I feel like was it maybe even in an email from the SendGrid people that they were telling me how the password reset works. Yeah, I've got. So you can go here. Okay, so there's a separate. So they sent me a completely separate, I don't know, URL. It says go to app.sendgrid.com to reset your password.
Ah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But then is that? But no, that's the same place. Okay, so now I can't work out where it is in there. Account details, password, edit. Yep. So presumably, no. Okay, so it's just
Sending you in circles.
at the moment. There must be somewhere in here that is it in the edit. I mean, I seem to remember telling you about this before, and it was like there's somewhere else in here you can request a password reset.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how isn't it ridiculous that they don't just like put that button here or enable this edit and then what have you. But so there's like is there some other place in here?
Yeah, I thought it was like a endpoint that they sent to you, but
Well, the email that I've got here says you can go here, and it's a hyperlink, and it's to app.sendgrid.com. But so I guess SendGrid. I think I did this before. How to reset password. Navigate to the click forgot password. Oh, right. Okay. That's what it is. You have to be not logged in order to see the password reset.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Good Lord. But they could have that. They're right. Go on with you. So they've forgot your password. Right. And then we have to put in the specific username, which is this username. Why won't these companies pay me such huge amounts of money to fix these very simple issues for them? And instead our lives just continue to be blighted by poor user interface design. Okay, so now I've had a request to reset it. So can I then put that into here with those things? But now if this one's logged in, will it go nuts? I don't know. Okay, right. There we go. So now, okay, well, what I'm going to do is, what I had previously tried was giving it the same password it had before. I'm going to generate a completely new password. And I'm going to stick that in there.
You're going to generate with your
yeah, with my password managing software. Also known as LastPass. If only it was the last password, but Right. So now I go back into the what's called the local I don't know. Right, and update the password for that. Wait, no, what's happened there? It's still that's strange. I'm doing the copy password thing in LastPass, and it's still going. Okay, let's try again. Okay, that's updated now. Okay. Okay. And so now I've saved it. And so now I'm going to try restarting the server again. Okay. Now, I mean, we could try doing this, encrypting of it and so whatever, but I'm not convinced that this will work with anything other than the API key. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit fiddly. So what I'm tempted to do once the site comes back up is to try and do a password reset from I forgot what it's called, our website, the wiki.healthylondon.org. Now that's interesting. I thought it was specifically Oh no, it does not come back up yet. Go again. There it is. All right. You should not be logged in. You're not. Log in. So, forgot your password. If only there were no passwords. If only we were all free. If there be no more secrets. Okay, done that. Okay. Now, I mean, I guess. I mean, it takes some time.
You updated the password in. You've updated it in the site as
well.
So
I updated it in the local settings.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Well, there's various levels of checks to do, including. I could be like
logging out and logging in.
Oh god, it could be. Yeah, I was just thinking I could like here put what I think the current password is into this, and so like this seems to provide a way for us to check if the password is what we think it is. So actually, that's interesting. There's the funny thing there. I mean, I guess maybe this would need to be reloaded as well, because like the thing is that we're changing the password on the SendGrid side. Right, for this thing. So I mean, I guess even if this one, what does that do? Keys, quick start, access, tags. Ooh, your password. Your password is your password.
I thought you were going to choose that.
How could they not have that be so prescient?
So I'm presuming you haven't gotten any emails yet.
Not yet. So we've got this and this one. So this still reports the new password that I've just sent as, but I mean, I guess that's not, you know, again, we're sort of in the realm of speculation. The other thing that I had been thinking about was that we've got this Bitmami SendGrid, I don't know if it was even Azure, but or the Media Wiki. And like this is like, it talks about using a Gmail account. It talks about needing to do these installations here. So I'm kind of tempted to like just run those. Mail is already installed and is the same as the release version. Okay. Oh, so that looks like it downloaded maybe it's like a new version of NetSMTP. So what would be like we've got now? What I guess this is like PHP. So I wonder, can we like? Is there a good way to like do check PHP from the command line? like what we'd like to do is kind of like checking if pair works. Net SMTP. How do I see if pairs installed? I'm trying to check them. Are we? Oh, there's actually so there's like a mail. We've not just SMTP. There's mail. Oh, so I could like. Can we check PHP mail from the command line? Okay, so that's somebody else who was having. They were doing. Oh, look, there we go. Oh, here we go. That's the kind of thing we want to do. So here, for this, now presumably that will that fail with some interesting. That's not. It hasn't been configured. Oh look, it's just got to come back with a. I've got too many. Oh gosh. Unexpected line of PHP runners are. It's a single string parse error. Unexpected end of file in command line on line 1.
Yeah, it looks like there's an extra
thing in there. Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, here you go. That's a more. So it looks like we can run PHP like that and get interactive shell. That's cool. And then it looks like we could run that mail operation here. And then we could run. Oh. So that's failed silently. I mean, I'd sort of assume that wouldn't work because I don't think there's any way that the PHP mail thing would get our oh, what's the word? You know what I mean? That it wouldn't like the config that we have for the config that we have for the mail is in the media wiki settings. But so I mean the implication from Bitnami and so on, which is what I think I worked with before, is that under the hood, MediaWiki is using this PHP mail. So that sort of implies that if we could find the PHP mail and understand how to configure it, like I guess we have to configure the SMTP. Like this is all just like, I guess that assumes that the SMTP is all right. Somebody, okay. Send mail.ini. Okay, so I think it's then, so what was the name of the net underscore SMTP? That's the pair package. Do we have? There. As a not basic use, require host from receipt subject body. Interesting. I'm not seeing like a simple description of how we would configure it with username and password. Like presumably under the hood, stuff that we have in the local settings, like this WG SMTP is sort of set there in the background, and then it's run. I mean, the other thing that we could be trying to do is trying to. Oh, wait a sec. That's interesting. I'm just looking at the local settings, and it looks to me like the email notifications thing is in there twice.
Yeah, that vaguely rings a bell, actually. I mean, I could SSH into the
well, I've just deleted the other one,
the clone one.
I guess I'll restart. I mean, the correct things were being set the second time around.
Maybe it was conflicting with the.
Yeah, I mean,
That doesn't really make sense why you wouldn't be able, like, it's not recognizing your password, you know.
In the Azure thing, but I would assume that that's like the somewhat plausible explanation there is that we've updated the password in SendGrid, but SendGrid hasn't told Azure about that change, or it will take time for that change to propagate, or maybe it's just like not even set up to work. I mean,
so in the clone of it, it's in there twice as well.
Right. That's to be avoided, I think. Well, I'll just do another password reset in the background and see if that comes through. But so the thing is, in the Ruby world, these kind of things would be environment variables, right? And then so like for our little password thing would have access to the environment variables in the same way that our main app would. The confusing thing here is we've got the main app and it has these settings like for WG, oh, what is it even called?
SMTP.
Yeah, WGSMTP. Can I find them? Yes, right. And then it's not clear how those things are being passed to, presumably to the mail app under the hood. I mean, I guess I could be just having a quick look at, I did have the entire of the Wikimedia locally. And I could search for how WGSMTP is used in that. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, like, it's a little bit difficult to. I mean, hopefully that just is the problem, but it's a little bit difficult because, like, we were talking about how your like mental model of how this should work, because we're like appending to the end of it with the custom settings in the is that if whatever is defined after would override anything that's defined before. So as long as we're setting the new password on the one that comes on, second.
Yeah. But so indeed.
I'm not sure if you know which one you were.
I think it was on the latter one. So I'm not optimistic that this, is going to have fixed it for us. And superficially, we're still like in this funny situation of being unable to do a quick and dirty test on the command line that is representative of whether emails can be sent. And then we have this really, really big debug loop. And yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the send method in the Wikimedia user mailer. Look at how it uses the SMTP stuff. to from body options. I'm not. There we go. Yeah. So this is like presumably under the hood in MediaWiki. This is where, like this is, if WGS specifies an array of parameters, which we do, it requires pair mail to do that. Otherwise, it just uses the standard PHP mail function. And I want there anyway. But so this is presumably when MediaWiki needs to send a message, it uses this function. So this is all dealing with this, that, and the other. I don't see the SMTP stuff being. See, then it gets down to send internal, but I guess like self send internal. Ridiculous. It's not even giving me. I guess I haven't got the PHP plugin that would find that for me. No, send internal is there. Okay, here. So we've got global WG SMTP. Forge email headers. That sounds good. Okay, so here is the place where. So it's got like a factory method on the mail to create something based on having that array of parameters, and then send with pair. So I guess like this is the not particular. So like there's like a process of creating a mail object using this array. So that, and it's interesting, we've got this like, look, we see we've got like WF debug, pair mail factory failed, and so on. Pair mail error, sending mail, like, so we've got a number of choices here. Like we could try and take parts of this code and try running it from the command line. We could try and enable these, you know, try and work out where these loggers stuff would come out. I think those are our two options. Think about it. What have we got? So try replicating some of the PHP email stuff from Wikimedia on the command line. Try enabling. So this one has sort of failed. Logging. I've got to go in. I kind of feel like this one. It feels like it won't be quick and simple. We'll have to start pulling out and then working out how to import libraries in PHP and what have you. It feels like maybe we should just have a quick stab at trying to get the logging enabled again. I know you were looking at this before, Matt, weren't you?
Yeah, I think there is, if it's what I think you're talking about. I think there is something in, but maybe it's not on production.
Yeah, well, production has a debug log file specified, which I can see. Here, and we do have this log. Oh, there we go. That's interesting. So it hasn't got dates in it, so I don't know how recent it is. But
permission denied. Failed to open stream.
Well, yeah, this one is a file operation. Put contents there. Failed to open stream. Permission denied. But this, I don't know that this is necessarily related to sending email at all. I mean, the interesting thing here is we've got relatively recent things where it says sending mail to. It hasn't got any, and there's like several of them. And it's not clear if any of the failures, if that failure is related to the emails or not.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could send I was just going to say I could send a password request like while you're.
Yeah, you certainly could. I may just have. What did I just do? Did I do? Oh, I've done it. Yeah. Okay. So I've got a big chunk of stuff. We scroll back up through that and see. Yeah. Oh, so we've got some login going on.
Okay, password. Password. Okay. I've asked to reset the password, and you don't see anything happening there.
Yeah, not immediately. Although it can sometimes take a while for these things to flush. I'm just trying to look at but yeah, okay. So, but this log, I think it's old. It's majorly old. Look, I think the last change is December 19th, 2017. So I think there must be there's some other setting that makes the logger log. You know what I mean? Can we say media wiki enable logging? How to debug manual, how to debug PHP errors, or set it in PHP ini. That's to see PHP errors, I guess, to be shown on page.
Setting up a debug log file.
Right, which we've done, and I got working in the past. Structured logging, statistics. Send debug data to an HTML comment in the output. Client side debugging. It's funny because it only seems to mention. It doesn't mention like to save errors and debug them to a log. Add debug log file to local settings. Change the value to a text file where you want to save the data to trace output. The media security software must have permissions from your operator to create and write this file. For example, in default to install, it runs as user and group data. Here's a sample setting. This file contains much debugging for media recording sessions. Subsystems write to custom logs. Yeah, and it doesn't say. No, let's have a look over there. It's both bitnami. That seems about right. I don't know. I mean, I'm tempted to like. Move that to there. I mean, I seem to remember in order to get it like working, it was partly about giving bitnami ownership of those things. Worked in the past. Again, I mean, it's the same thing with the bloody email, isn't it? Like it worked in the past, and we've no idea why it's not working now. Is there anything else that? Log. I can't find. I don't know if it's like seems unlike. I guess I'm going to restart that again. We've had no indications of other emails. That's a massive log. Why does this log not work? Well, that was a try with that one. I mean, I guess the other route there that we were mentioning was, can we, like, I guess this WGSMTP that's available from having run local settings. So we could like create like a little micro file that just did this, and like, do you know what I mean? We could create like a little email testing script that had this like set from the local settings, and then had this, and then presumably up here we got something that tells us. I don't know how the linkages work with pair and so on in here. Yeah, I was sort of going up here to see like it would be pulling in. Yeah, well, we can have a go at it. I mean, it's yeah, I mean, presumably we can look up and find out how like ways to make sure that that's in the space for PHP. Well, I'm gonna have to go. The quest continues. Yeah, it's a shame that that dominates everything, and we don't get a chance to look at you know these. Yeah, we'll have to look at those separately. All right. Feel free to hang out. I mean, maybe if you might want to describe these to Joseph, Matt, and he might have some insights. I mean, to me, like the thing with the extensions is obviously the line of enabling them just goes in the custom settings, but then there's the process of like pulling down the extension package, right? But so like, for example, with moderation, that's a Git thing. So that would then need to be, we would run the, I mean, it's possible in principle, right? It's not, it just.
Yeah. What I've tried so far is like actually adding extensions locally and copying them over locally from like our social
Okay.
and into but that hasn't seemed to work. It just kind of breaks the site and gives some yeah. And
okay, is that then in another branch where I could easily test it?
I think I could push up to another branch.
Yeah.
I think like the interesting thing about that is like with Bitnami, the way we've done it like before is we've SSH'd into the box and done it straight from that. So I wonder if there's not a way that we can do that with this as well.
Yeah, maybe. What I'd say is, yeah, if you're blocked on something and there was a thing that didn't work and it came thing, if you can get that into a branch and up so that then I can replicate, that's extraordinarily helpful. So yeah, let's try. Yeah, and similarly for this one, anything that you try that fails for some reason and you're not sure why, if I can then replicate it precisely, perhaps I can lend a hand asynchronously. Yeah. All right, great stuff. I'll see you tomorrow.
Go. See you.
Bye for now.
Hello, Joseph.
Hello.
How's it going?
The test failed, but at least now I know what's the problem.
Oh, nice.
There are different tests, not the one that were failing previously. Now these are new tests.
Oh, that's good. Sounds like a step a way forward, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you're interested in having a look at the stuff for what's going on with the Media Wiki and the dockerization of it. I can show you if you'd like.
Probably I won't understand anything, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't. It's a question how much of it I understand. So, I'll just exit out of this, and then I will come here to Agile Ventures, Social Prescribing Wiki, and I'll open this up. I think so. Right now, where we are at, which I don't. I was just kind of playing around, but this is what the site looks like at the moment. So I gave myself, well, I kind of gave all users and not just myself, access to be able to edit the CSS on the site wide, which you know, is not what we want, which is why I was saying that I think we're blocked by the fact that we can't log in as an admin. Media Wiki, I think it's Media Wiki common CSS. So yeah, it was kind of a bit of a win that I was able to do that, although I'm not sure. I think maybe when we do when we pull the dump from the, I'm not sure if this is stuff that we would have in our database dump. I don't think so. I think this needs to be configured here. So, but I was able to add that, and that is not working perfectly. I mean, there's no banner here at the top. Like, you know, I think you've seen the other site looks like this, you know, there's not, this banner's not there, and these pictures are not there, and this is the main page here. So these are in like at the proper place, whereas here there's like, oh, I think it's like this here, no? So I'm not sure, maybe I have something incorrect on this here, or maybe it's something to do with the yeah, I'm not sure, but I guess the big thing is that, like, if I try to log in, I should have like this admin login, and I don't. So it's like incorrect username or password. And then if I come here to like forget your username, and I say like admin, for example, and I say reset the password, so there's no email address recorded for the admin. So I don't know if I could set like if I could somehow set an email address for the admin in the local settings, maybe I could reset the password and then it would work that way. But as of now, I can't get logged in as an admin, which means that, for example, like when I want to change, I don't want all users to be able to have access to editing like the site-wide stuff. And at the moment, I can't like add users to specific groups because you need to be able to log in as admin. So yeah, I'm kind of a little bit stuck on that. I guess like would be nice to try that stuff. Yeah. So like maybe push up to a branch. I tried doing this like PHP maintenance change password of this admin user, you know, to something else, and that didn't seem like it worked. You know, I need to I guess try it again, and then this is something else that was on in the media King Square Media Wiki thing that we're kind of following, and this is saying here, like, you know, it needs to be, you know, have something after this colon here. Yeah, so I guess I need to push to a branch. Like, you know, we've checked like we've actually printed in the logs what the username and password is, and you know that the username and password seem to be getting set, like, and being created here. So I tried changing this as well to like hard coding in the values, and that didn't work either. So yeah, kind of in that state at the moment. Yeah, good times. So I'm not sure. I guess I need to organize my thoughts on the different things I've tried and pushing it up to branches so that Sam can have a look and see what he thinks.
All right.
I'm not sure if there's anything else, like, because I guess like with the extensions, I've tried doing things like having local extensions that I copy over, and I've come into errors with that, which I need to actually do again. And yeah, don't know. It's kind of I guess like one of the other things is as well is like maybe trying to add a different extension that that's not like I've been trying to add one specific extension, and that's like breaking the site, but maybe that has nothing to do with the way the extensions are being added, and it has something to do with like that specific extension. Or like, you know, my lack of understanding on how to it's this extension moderation, this one here, where like it doesn't seem like so clear. Like it says here like check out the sources with git clone and place the file or files in a directory called moderation in your extensions folder. So like that seems a bit vague to me. Like what does it mean, check out the sources? Like I come here to HLP wiki and then media wiki and have a look here. Like what exactly is it talking about when it says sources? There's no like src folder. There's no source folder. So I'm not sure what does it mean by, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong I'm in the wrong thing. That's why. But then there's this. So this is like, is it something here or like, no, you know, like not exactly clear what they mean by sources, you know? I mean, it seems like there's maybe there's different options you can choose between like which versions that you're supposed to, like, you know, it's cloning this here, media wiki moderation, and then, you know, it doesn't give anything. It just says go here for more information, which I just was at, you know, and don't know really here. It's like supposed to be in like this here, this WF load extension seems like it's not working. Although this is interesting. So like it didn't seem like it was loading like this, and then I found where backward compatibility failed to support require once. Yeah, so like yeah, so then I had I was doing this require once, and then so maybe this is why, because I'm trying to load this file, and this file is like just a file saying like if this function exists, then load the moderation, and if not, then I mean, not sure. Not sure. Like, yeah. This here is like 1.30 release. Moderation 1.30, but we're on, okay, support for MediaWiki 1.31. Okay. Plugins. You know anything about PHP?
Nope.
Or Wikipedia or MediaWiki and stuff?
No. Wikipedia, yes, but MediaWiki.
So I'm not sure, you know. What is it?
But I don't know what it does.
Like, what exactly does it? I mean, does this? I guess like I'm the native English speaker, but like, does this make sense to you? Check out the sources.
Yeah, git, check out sources with git clone, blah blah blah, and place the files in the directory.
Yeah, so like file or files in a directory called moderation.
But you can't find moderation.
Well,
You can't find.
I've renamed, like you can see here, I've renamed it to be mod. When you clone it, it clones like it clones with this name here, Media Wiki Moderation. And then I've moved the contents of, I've just moved all the files into a directory called moderation. But then, you know, this first part makes me think that, and also the fact that they say file or files, like maybe I need to be choosing one of these files that's appropriate for me and then just moving that. But I don't know, like what.
Or maybe there is a sources directory.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
Sources.
but there's not, you know.
There's none.
No.
Can you? It will be easy if you're using VS Code.
Yeah, I mean,
Command P, resources or sources.
yeah, but I mean, you can see here in the command line that you don't doesn't have, but I guess like, yeah, you're saying maybe it's in a subdirectory, for example. Sources. No, I think I already tried that. Or source. No. So I'm not sure, you know, what the deal is with that. But I was thinking about maybe like instead of, I was thinking, you know, to test that it has something to do with this instead of something to do with the, you know, there's like this. I can come here to special, and then I can come to version. I think is a page I can come to. Yep. So then it shows here like the different extensions that we have, you know. I could like try to do Shoggle tweet instead, you know, or embed video instead. Confirm edit, you know, there's another one that I really wanted to try, but I'm not sure which ones are more difficult. I mean, visual editor would be great, but that seems like that's probably going to be difficult from what I've been told. So maybe, you know, start simple and go to more difficult later, you know. But yeah, I guess I should make a branch and just play around with this some more. Don't know. Like this seems simple enough. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they even just say just add.
Clone it. Yeah, like this here is already added, you know, that's why on this site here, like you come here and it's like this. So like, you know, if this actually were to work and not break the site, then potentially like I could actually see it would actually pull in the tweets and I could actually, this would make this page look better, you know? So, I mean, I you know, I could try this again, you know, like, because I think like the extensions, I can create a branch and then go and create like, try this, see if it works. And then if it does work, then great. And if it doesn't work, then I can push it up or I can add the moderation one, you know, either way. But like, the thing is as well as it's like, you know, can I use this inside of the, I don't think I can use this inside of the Docker, you know. I think I need to change this IP for it to be like, because I don't think I have access to this variable inside of the Docker. And also as well, like this consumer key and consumer key secret, like that sounds like, I'm not sure if that's something You know, it sounds like something I shouldn't push up, but yeah. So I don't know. I'll probably go because, yeah, I'm gonna go drink some water and then I don't know. I can jump back at it. I think I created an event for 2 o'clock on, because I think I'm gonna pair with Mike on RFM stuff, and having an event here, which I'm not sure if anyone says they're going to or not. Doesn't look like it, no. But it's better to show up just in case, you know.
The event for?
It's for an RFM pairing session because it's
No, I'm saying this one. Oh, this one.
yeah, it's a meetup. So yeah. So maybe I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Oh, for the RFM.
Yeah, we're gonna do a pairing session on RFM, and then the RFM meetings in a little bit more than an hour, you know.
Yeah, but I think I'll join your session a bit late because I want to go out. Maybe like 5 minutes. I'll be back in
Okay.
now, so I'll be 5 minutes late. Yeah, I want to grab some.
No worries.
Yep.
See you soon.
All
Then.
right.
Bye.
Bye.